Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is AJ Plays. Welcome back to another video, and this is my second attempt at filming this video. So if you saw on my community tab, which you should go check out, because I think I've still got an old Q&A post up on there or something, I can't remember. I tried editing the last attempt of this video, and the file just fucking disappeared. I must have pressed something in the middle of a transfer, because I tried to transfer it from my phone to my laptop so that I could actually, you know, cut it down and all that shit on a decent screen that I can actually, you know, do stuff with. Yeah, that video went poof. I don't know where that went. So I posted something on my TikTok and YouTube Shorts. If y'all saw that, you've already seen 2 of the guns in this video. So, you know, because of the attempt of recording, this is already a bigger video than what it was gonna be. It was already a fairly large video anyway, but I've got a little bit more to cover over this time, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. I'm not gonna bother with the whole ranting thing, so we're just gonna get straight in, and we're gonna start with the 2 I don't want to fire indoors, really, but I'm going to anyway, because content. First, oh my god. First up, we got the Nerf Pro Igniter. So it's a gel fire thing, and 60 round hopper in the top. It's the Pro Jolt. That's squibbed about 3 shots. That's not what it's supposed to do. Check, there's only 1 in there. Right, I think there's only 1 in there. Yeah, it doesn't... I've noticed with the gel fight, with gel stuff... Oh, hello, you're down here. I've noticed with the gel stuff, if you don't use it straight away, the rounds kind of just re-shrivel after you've hydrated them. Just adjust you, there we go. And they just give up. But that's not just this is just across the board. But yeah, so gel fire igniter. I'm going to keep this brief because there's a lot to go through, and I don't want this video to be an hour long, like my old collection update videos, like where I'd go through all of them for some reason instead of breaking them. Anyway, gel fire. If you like gel fire, if you like gel balls, don't bother. It's not worth it. It's expensive for what it is. You know, the performance, as you've just seen, isn't great. So capacity isn't there either. It's only 60 shots and then you've got to reload it, which for gel balls is not a lot. If we're talking like rival rounds or darts, then 60, yeah, 60 would be great, but considering they're gel balls, not the best. Yeah, I wouldn't bother with that. If you want a cheap gel ball pistol, however, this is your boy. I can't remember what this is called, and I thought I was going to look up the names of these. Oh well, never mind. So this little boy is the cheapest of the X shots. Again, I can't remember what it's called. I'll put the name in the description or in a pinned comment or something. Yeah, so this little guy right here is X-Shot's attempt at a T-pull single shot pistol. It's a lot bigger than the Igniter, but that makes sense because the capacity is a lot more. Performance of this guy is really good. You know, the prime is smooth. It's fairly quiet, so it's quite a good concealed carry. Like with everything, you've got a safety above the trigger kind of thing. Especially with these gel blasters, you're going to need it. Because you point this the wrong way and you shoot somebody, yourself or someone else in the eye, it's going to fucking kill. And yeah, so you got the little hopper door up top, you fill it up, you shut it, you pull back, and you fire. This thing doesn't multi-load, thankfully. This thing doesn't like accidentally multi-load like the igniter does. You know, like, it's the problem with hoppers is sometimes too many balls can get through, and then you've got the problem of, well, you're 2-shotting or 3-shotting, and there's not as much power behind it. I still don't have a chronograph yet, which is really fucking annoying. I want to get one of those, but anyway, if you're into gel balls and you're looking for a commercially available kind of, you can just walk into a shop, grab one, walk out kind of thing, this is very good. I believe it's the same price as the igniter, which is completely ironic because the igniter is terrible and this thing's actually decent. Bear in mind, I show no bias between brands. I purchase basically the same amounts. I have the same basic opinions on both brands, so there's no brand bias in here. I am purely going off capacity and performance. The X-Shot stuff is just better. It's just, I don't know, you get more for your money with the X-Shot stuff. I mean, X-Shot paint both sides with their skins technology, and you can't even get the Gelfire logo that you can't even see because it's not painted. Hasbro, stop doing that. Paint your shit, okay? Paint your shit. Make it look good, because this just, I don't know what this looks like. This just looks like cobbled together from junk. But, you know, it was cheap, and I thought, fuck it, I'll get it. And then this guy as well, the design is solid. It looks like an actual pistol. It kind of looks like an actual pistol. Like, if you take the hopper off, like, just blank the hopper out, like, that looks like a pistol. You know? So it's a good thing that it's brightly coloured and there's orange everywhere and all that kind of thing. But yeah, you know, it feels solid. It's got some decent iron sights, which for gel balls is actually a good thing because you'd want iron sights because these things are surprisingly accurate considering the size of them. But yeah, so if you're looking for an off-the-shelf pistol, go for this. And yeah, so now we're going to move on from gel balls. We're going to move on to some darts. Now, we are going to return to balls at the end of the video because we've got a couple of rival boys to go through. But, you know, we're going to start things off with the X-Shot Insanity Clip Mania. Now, I don't have the stuff that this came with. Quite frankly, I got rid of a fair bit of it or just put it in a random drawer. And I'm using the Ultra stock on it from the, I believe it's the Ultra Focus. I think it's the Ultra Focus. But overall, this thing does feel very nice. The OG stock is a kind of collapsible buffer tube kind of thing. So, you know, you get the positions, all that stuff. It's on my Strife. I'm not going to get that out. But yeah, it's got an end strike stock attachment, so you can just slap a random end strike stock on there. And yeah, it's a flywheeler. It's another X-Shot flywheeler, because why not? So yeah, you got a, oh my god, a very stiff jam door on the side. Mag release is solid. Very stiff jam door. Magwell feels good. Feels tight. I don't think you can... you can kind of freely mag drop. Can you John Wick it? No, you can't John Wick it. Okay. It doesn't really allow for... kinda. You can kind of John Wick it. But, you know, it's solid. It does take 8 AA batteries, but the rev up is non-existent. And the performance is very solid. so can't complain there. It did come with its own 15 round magazine. I'm using an N-Strike 10 just because of the personal comparisons between the Strife and all that kind of thing. But overall, rev trigger feels good, and then you've got a very nice geared semi-auto trigger. The jam door does have an electric lock in it. Stop it. So you can't rev this thing with the jam door open, because with the jam door open you can very easily get your finger into those flywheels, but you know, not everyone's going to do that. Overall, grip is nice, grip is solid. It's not really got a full grip, it's kind of got a pick style rail on each side, one on the top, one on each side, and then one on the bottom. I mean, you can use it as a full grip, it does feel good. It's got basically no sling loops, which is really annoying, unless you try and fit like a thick ass carabiner through there. I don't think even the stock has one, but you know, the stock point is usual N-Strike fare, so same as previous N-Strike stocks. I do want to get a regulator stock for this thing actually, just so I can put another mag in the back, because with this being an ultra stock, the magazine doesn't fit. But moving back from the stock, because that's not part of this, the overall ergonomics, this thing is very solid. The balancing is fairly good. You know, you can fairly easily use this as a mag-fed pistol. But performance is good. You know, rev up time is basically non-existent. It works with everything I've tried, which random capacities are just random capacities. Yeah, so it's solid. It's a good little thing. It fires well. It's not particularly quiet, but we're going to get into some louder things in here anyway. So, you know, just one of them. But yeah, overall, this guy is solid. Do I recommend it? Yes, I do. And now moving on, I think she'll do the last full length that I've got. Now, y'all remember the X-Shot Crusher, the little handheld minigun, which had the Springer spinny barrel. I broke that. I'll fully admit that I broke it. Trying to get the Smart AR out, or the air restrictor out, to try and, you know, boost its performance up a little bit. I bricked it. It just kept slam firing for no reason. So this is its little brother. It's the X-Shot XL Omega, and I'd argue this is better than the Crusher. Just the aesthetic of it is definitely more minigun. The grip is small, but it fits my hand just fine. The foregrip is tiny. I can only really get 3 fingers on there, and then my pinky and my thumb gonna have to rest on the outside. But you know, it's a little minigun. Now, there is one thing that I did keep from the Crusher, and that's its chain. I combined the Crusher's chain and this guy's chain, because it's the same chain, so you could do, and I now have a ridiculous fucking chain that I can slam fire off if I want. This thing does have slam fire, so I'm not going to do it because I've got to clean up that's already as is, and I'm going to have to clean up rival balls in a minute anyway. But yeah, I can just fucking dump rounds. If you're a heavy gunner, if you consider yourself kind of the heavy gunner, this is a good idea. It is cheap. The chain is basically compatible from every previous one, I believe, except for the what is it called? The Ragefire. I believe the chains are slightly different, so I don't think they'd be compatible, but I'm not sure. I haven't really tried that. I kind of just want to leave my Ragefire as is. I might get a second one to try and make like a TF2 engineer thing, but I haven't got the money for that right now, and quite frankly I don't have the space to do that kind of shit either. But I'll figure that out later on. Anyway, back to this guy. So yeah, this guy is solid. Performance is really good. Ergonomics is also fairly solid. This isn't meant for everyone because I believe this thing is very small. Like it is tiny. Like I know it looks big in frame, but there you go. It's basically the same size as the Clipmania, and it performs really well. It's light. I mean, mine isn't because of the fucking chain dangling off of it, but it's light. It carries well. It performs well. It feels really good. You feel like a heavy gunner carrying this thing. And yeah, so if you consider yourself, if you're in a nerf squad and you consider yourself the heavy gunner and you need something new, check this out. It's cheap. I believe the chain refills are also fairly cheap. They might only have the Ragefire chains, but I'm just going to assume those work, because the only difference is the Ragefire chain has a hole cut out in the top for the motor to feed the darts into the flywheels for that, so I'm guessing it's the same, I don't know. But overall, is this guy worth it? Yeah, it doesn't cost much, and it fires really well. Capacity is basically ever-changing, so that's great. And yeah, so that is the last of the full elite dart that I'm going to be doing now. Looks like we've only got the single half dart. So, this little guy, I can't remember the name of this thing either. I think that, no, this is the Fury X. This is the X-Shot Pro. Yep, Pro. Same thing as the Longshot Pro, the red one. This is a half dart, magazine fed, bullpup configuration, top prime, slamfire, high FPS Springer, which fires half darts. They're little half boys. This thing was 15 quid. It came with the pink half dart magazine, 40 darts, 40 half lengths, because this thing is half length only, Magwell's tiny. And it also came with basically a free blaster. This little guy is amazing. I love this thing. It is just so fun to just target practice with. It's consistent, it fires really hard. Modability as well is really easy. Guys, you just take these two screws out, which removes the two pins, takes off the collet, and then there's just 4 screws on either side, and that allows you to get to your spring and your plunger and your barrel, and you can just pull shit out, pop it in, and lock it up and fire. I did experiment with the Longshot's spring and barrel. So this thing wasn't completely closed up. It didn't have the collet on it because the barrel doesn't fit through the collet, which is really fucking annoying. And it performed really well. This little guy can take mods very easily, like additional springs, all that kind of thing. It's amazing. It's amazing, and I got it for 15 quid when it came out. I know it's been a while since I got this. I got this in like mid-January or like early January or something like that. And the Americans didn't have this at first, and I thought, I might try and get a video out just so I can say, yeah, we got it before you. But, you know, push came to shove, I didn't make that video in January. Quite frankly, because I don't think I had enough to talk about. Although I've just talked about, like, what? I've just talked about 5, but, you know. But, yeah. If you're looking for a half dart bulb, if you're looking for anything half dart, high performance, and you want it for cheap, get it. It's very good. It's very good. It's a solid little guy. The plastic quality, considering it's Zuru, who isn't exactly the best plastic. I mean, we saw the upgrades with the Gelfire line, the gel ball line, because they're just insane with that. But yeah. This little guy is solid. It's got a pick rail at the front for a foregrip, something, and then one up there for a sight, although your sight's on your prime, so you probably wouldn't want to put something there, but the option's there anyway. And if you're in the US, mod parts are very easily accessible through like Out of Darts or anything like that. So, you know, it's one of them. This little guy, yeah, it's good. It's really good. Very solid. I recommend. And so, what have we got left? We got Mega. We got Rival. I'm going to go through the Megas first because there's only 2 of them. I bought another Fortnite one. This is the Fortnite. It's the Fortnite hand cannon. It's single prime, Mega. I did take the air restrictor out of this, which is surprisingly easy considering modern Hasbro. They don't want you modifying their stuff. Although this is from 7 years ago. But they don't really want you, they don't typically want you modding their stuff. But, you know, this thing pulls apart very easily. The grip is surprisingly tiny considering the size of the whole thing. It is slightly front heavy. The prime's nice. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna end up damaging it if I keep doing that. I'm gonna leave this in. So, Mega Performance. So it's Mega Performance is difficult to explain because sometimes it's within elite range, so around 70 FPS. And then sometimes it's in 50, because, you know, it's a bigger projectile. And they're basically using the same springs anyway. I don't know. But, I mean, if you're looking for a Mega Pistol, a Talon or a Big Shock would probably work better. Big Shocks are impossible to find nowadays. And Talon, AccuStrike Talon? I think it's a Talon. That's also a type of half-dart mag, but the Nerf Mega Talon is probably the better one because the modability of that thing is very easy. It's hard to gather by the shell. This guy, it's the size of a Mega Magnus, which, if need I remind you, is a 3 internal magazine 3-shot Mega pistol. This guy is only a 1. And it's ridiculous. It's big and it's ridiculous. It looks like a big iron. Well, not a big iron. It looks more like a deagle, which I think is what they were going for with the hand cannon thing. But, you know, I digress. If you want it, get it. I wanted it, so I got it. Because I like stupid stuff. I mean, Jesus Christ, I bought Nerf Fortnite in 2025. Happy 2025, by the way. I forgot to say that. Start of the new year. Yeah, it's a nugget. I like it. Moving on. And our final Mega of the day. Very noisy, very slow. It's the Mega Murder Strike. This boy is big. It's loud. spin down takes forever with the flywheels. They're slow as sin. It's a Mega Strife. Is all it is. It's a Mega Strife. It's big. And this is the magazine, or as I call it, the Megazine. Now, the reason I have my Strifes and Strife-alikes shooting 10 rounds is for this exact comparison. This is the Mega Motor Strike magazine. It will work in the Centurion. I've tried that, and the Centurion magazine will also work in here. This is the Megazine. This is an Elite magazine. 10 rounds. Both 10 rounds. This is an X-Shot 15. It's big. It's ridiculous. And as Tessera's Nerf Room said in his Centurion video, if you don't pull out this magazine and go, you don't have a soul. Because this thing is big, it is ridiculous, it is very rattly. Very, very rattly. It's like the size of a VHS tape. It's big. It's a big boy. And it goes in the big boy magwell. I can't remember what this thing takes. I think it's 4C batteries for that. I think it's got motor brakes. You got a giant jam door in there. Got a carry handle on the top. You got a end strike rail on the top for a scope or something. It's big. It's ridiculous. It's mega. It's me. If you're not into mega, for the love of God, don't bother. I've heard these things have had insane amounts of issues, specifically with the mag release. A lot of reviewers at the time, specifically like Walcom S7 and Coop 772, miss you, they both had broken magazine catches out of the box. They were broken out of the box, or they broke them not long into using. I thankfully haven't broke my mag release yet. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Trigger does feel very nice. It is a geared semi-auto pusher. I have taken this apart to see if any modability is doable. I don't believe so. I think just changing the battery from 4Cs to a 3S LiPo might actually come across very well. But, you know, again, if you're not into Mega, for the love of God, don't bother with this. If you're into Mega, you've probably only got Springers, unless you've got a Mastodon, which, if you do, I want one. I want a Mastodon, because that thing is big and ridiculous, and as you know from these videos, I love big and ridiculous things. I mean, I have a Titan CS50, for fuck's sake. Like, I have both freestanding, like, big expense Nerf guns. I have the Rhino Fire and the, I can't remember if it's the Vulcan or not. Or did we call, no, we called it the Havoc Fire over here. The Americans called it the Vulcan. I don't know why they changed that. Anyway, so you know I like big and stupid. I got this thing because it is big, it is stupid, and I like big and stupid. If you like big and stupid, get the big and stupid. I have spent far too much money so far for what I've got. Currently, the situation is 9 medium moving boxes and a separate giant, like, plastic tub box for my 3 sniper rifles. And even then, I've still got the Crossfire, but the Minecraft Saberwing bow, I've got that separate because it doesn't fit. I've got the 3 freestanders, the Infinite, and then for some reason I have the HPG 700 sat out separate as well. I don't know why, actually. That's weird. But yeah, the dungeon's in its final form. It's carpeted, it's painted, it's cared for, it's all good. So this is now my space. This is now the Nerf dungeon with a fair bit of Lego in it as well. I've got some Speed Champions stuff. I might make a separate video for that because... Actually, no. Yeah, I'll make a separate video for those later on. I've also got some mini architecture stuff over there as well. So if you guys want to see that, yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to make Lego content. Building Lego for me is basically therapy anyway. So, you know, if you want me to start covering some like Speed Champions stuff, or like the mini, or some like Lego architecture or icons or anything like that, just let me know and I'll get on it. I'll get on it. I gotta get some shelving and some posters. I'm probably gonna go for some display stuff. Anyway, wow, I got away from this real quick. Overall thoughts, and then we're gonna move on. Final thoughts. This thing is big. This thing is stupid. I've repeated that sentence about 3 times now. If you want it, go for it. Do I recommend it? Yeah, I recommend it. It's ridiculous. If you like the big dart, then just go for it. If you like having fun with Nerf or X-Shot or whatever the fuck you buy, this is fun. Okay? This is fun. This is not performance orientated. This is not FPS orientated or game viability orientated or anything like that. This is fun. This is target shooting fun. This is just around the house fun. And if you like fun, if you don't take Nerf seriously and you like fun, this is fun. Yeah, just get it. It's fun. And now, moving on to the final 3, and you've seen them all briefly in the short that I posted. I believe it was either yesterday or the day before. Might have been a bit late, might have been a bit earlier than that, I can't remember. I also posted it on my TikTok as well. So, Zach_J_plays on TikTok. I also posted it on there saying this video was coming. So yeah, first of all, going from the smallest to big, we've got the rival. I can't remember if this is Ghost Ops or Spec Ops. I think it's Spec Ops. Again, I'll put it in the comments. I can't remember. I'll put it in the description if I got it right or wrong. This is the Helios. This is the rival Helios. This is a mag in grip, 7-round mag in grip, bolt action, high performance pistol. It's got safety on both sides, a very small jam door on the left side only. The primer handle. Prime is smooth. It's fairly stiff, but prime is smooth. And it's got a return spring strong enough to chamber. And then you fire. It's very loud. The grip, considering it's got that in it, is surprisingly comfortable. It is very big. It's a very, very chunky grip. Mag release is center line on the bottom of the grip. It does freely mag drop, so be careful of that. Can you John Wick it? Don't think you can even get a grip to... No, you can't. The internal tension is a bit too high. But it is compatible with the 12-round mags, which I've got a fair few of now. I think I just had it from the what was the Blue Rival Primary? I can't remember. I can't remember what that was called. But this little guy, it's solid. I got this thing for fairly cheap. This thing is quite old now, 2017. So this guy is quite old. It's got like an attempt of a foregrip up front. I don't really know. It's got a rival rail on the top, a fat front post, no no rear posts, but it's got nice round stock and a nice little cheek plate, so that you can aim. Rifle rounds are fairly accurate, so I don't know, putting an actual scope on this thing would probably be worth it. But yeah, I mean, if you've got small hands, like, I don't know, I guess Rival's not really for you, because, this isn't kids stuff. This is, like, teenager level. Oh, there's something in here. What are you? Oh, there's stuff in my Helios. I don't know. Overall, though, this guy is good. Performance is solid. Ergo is quite nice. Mag release is nice and solid. Yeah, overall, this guy was cheap. Do I recommend you get it? Yeah, I think I do. This thing is very nice. Very nice. It's a nice little thing. It's sturdy. It doesn't really rattle very much. Okay, minus the priming handle. So yeah, it's very nice. Very solid little thing. Now, when I said in my last video that the next one is going to be the most expensive, I wasn't wrong. But it didn't turn out half the way I intended. We'll do this one second. This next boy is the Rival Chaos. I never said I wanted a Chaos, but I found this thing for fairly cheap. It came with the batteries, so eBay. It's a decent place to find stuff. This thing is ridiculous. Flywheel takes 6D batteries, so it's heavy as hell. It's got irons, which you can pop up. Giant rival rail across the top. Little one down here for a foregrip. It's only got the one side safety, but full ambi mag release. And then this is a 40 round Rival magazine. Now, this thing is ridiculous. I will preface that now. This thing is fucking insane. So, all I'm going to do is say, if you can find this thing for cheap and you have the rounds to fill it, then go for it. I'm just going to mag dump this bitch. Of course, the one time I say I'm going to mag dump this bitch, it doesn't want to work properly. Oh, it's because the rounds got stuck. Oh, that happens. Anyway. Hell yeah. However, for the finale of this video, I have the next level of the Rival Chaos. I talked about this several times in my previous videos, I talked about 2 nerf rival that I have wanted basically ever since I started this channel. One of them was the Prometheus, which I cannot find at a decent price for love nor money nowadays. The other, I finally have. After hundreds and hundreds of eBay searches, looking for a decent price, I finally found one. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what I have been trying to hunt down for so long. The rival nemesis. 100 round, hopper fed, full auto. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go nuts. Because I am gonna hopper dump this thing first, and then do my final piece and end this video. And try and think about at least trying to cut this thing down slightly. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what my collection has been building towards. I'm not done collecting, I'll say that. I'm not done buying stuff. I still want a Prometheus, but this is my current magnum opus. This is my jewel. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the rival nemesis. Here we fucking go. Oh my god. I have got to clean that up now. One ended up in the corner. I think one hit you guys. I'm awfully sorry. So, yeah. It's hopper fed. So, as you saw, I did have to shake it a fair bit. You can just remove it. If there's a jam, you get in there, you clear the jam out, you put it back in, you close that back up. You know how I said the Mega Motor Strike was the definition of what I do in this hobby? This, I called that the status of ridiculous. This thing is heavy, it is big, it is noisy, but it is so fucking worth it. This thing is possibly the most fun I have ever fucking had, just firing, like just dumping rounds everywhere. This is arguably, this is my pinnacle. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my pinnacle. Until I get my hands on a Prometheus. I'm fucking dying to get my hands on a Prometheus. But until that day comes, and you see the smile on my face get even dopier than it is now, this is the rival Prometheus. If you can find it for a decent price, I know the rounds are fairly cheap nowadays, especially on Amazon. They're fairly cheap. It does take 6D batteries, which is fairly expensive. So does the Chaos. They share the same battery tray. But this is just the most ridiculous thing I have ever come across. And until I get my hands on a Prometheus, This is my magnum opus of the collection. This is crazy. If you want true fun, like the purest form of just ridiculous fun, if you can find this guy for cheap, I recommend you go for it. Now, 2024 was an insane year for the collection, I'll admit. I went a bit overboard last year, just with the amount. I think basically every video was in 2024, like the bigger stuff. I can promise you now, by the end of this year, I will have my hands on a Prometheus. It will be in a video, it will be in the Nerf dungeon, and I will be able to wake up in the morning, look across my room, and see the pinnacle of stupid rival sat across from me in my room. By the end of 2025, I will have a Prometheus in this room. Whether it'll be on video in 2025, I highly doubt it. I will make this year the year of the Prometheus for this channel. I will spend every ounce of my time trying to find a Prometheus, because now I've had this and the rival. I'm considering getting the rival perses as well. It's just a smaller version of this. If I can find them, I will buy them. And that is my goal for 2025. To have a Prometheus sat across from me by the end of this year. Perses as well, if I can find one, then I will. But the Prometheus is my goal for this year. The Nemesis was arguably, I think it was my goal for personally, I'm pretty sure it was my goal for last year to try and find a Nemesis, and now I have a Nemesis. Like, it's it is crazy for me as a human being that I get to kind of just show my joy for these kinds of things and talk about them and have an actual passion that I can fucking share with people. It's crazy, and I just love making these videos. So until either I run out of space, or I have to or I sell all of it. I'm not planning to do that yet, but I'm definitely not planning to do that yet. But I will make this known. The first full video of 2025 for this channel will be the year of the Prometheus. I will have a Prometheus in this room by the end of the year. If it's in a video, if I can get it in a video by the end of 2025, that's the stretch. But if I can get a Prometheus in this room, I fucking will. Because this is ridiculous fun, and I want the next level of that. But this is amazing. This thing is arguably the more insane thing, because it made hoppers viable. Anyway, I have been Zach J Plays. This has been the Rival Prometheus. Welcome to 2025. This year for this channel is gonna pop off hard. I've got Lego stuff planned. I've got other stuff. I might have some action figure things in the works. I know this channel's kind of changed, but I do still collect those. Not very often because of this, but I do still get a couple every now and then. But this year, 2025, is the year of the Prometheus, and I will make it known. I will get a Prometheus and a Perses. I've just decided it in the moment. out of sheer passion for this hobby, that I personally will have a Perses and a Prometheus in this room by the end of the year. And that is a promise I am making to you guys, because I know that with the right amount of time and the right amount of research, I could possibly get it done. I will look down every avenue I can to get these two blasters in this space, functioning, working, firing for you guys and for me personally, because I just want to see the dumb stuff. 2025, the year of the Prometheus, guys. The year of the Prometheus. I have been Zach J Plays. I'm hyped for this year. I hope this passion continues into the rest of the videos. And I will see you all in the next one. No fucking clue when that's going to be, but thank you for sticking around. I know it's been a couple of months, and I've already tried filming this video before. And, you know, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, guys. Year of the Prometheus, baby.